Right, so question 8 probably should have came before, question 7, since we solved question 7 using proportion. So, couple of like ways of doing this question. There's some sneaky ways, which, maybe I'll show you in a second. But probably the straightforward way is to just cross multiply like we did before. 2 times 3x is equal to 6x. 3 times x plus 7 is equal to 3 times x plus 7. Really easy mistake to make at this point. We're not multiplying just x by 3, multiplying the quantity x plus 7 by 3. So you want to, I think, write it this way because this helps remind us that we're going to need to distribute that 3 in a moment. All right, so when we distribute the 3, 3 times x is 3x, 3 times 7 is 21. So this would equal 6x. Again, we want to solve for x by using inverse operations. I'm adding 3x and 21, so let me subtract this 3x first from both sides. So I'm going to get a 3x equals 21. We could divide by 3, divide by 3. So we're going to get x equals 21 divided by 3, which is 7. Now, you should never, ever, ever get these questions wrong because you can always check them, right? So since I know that x is equal to 7, I could just plug 7 back in and see that I get a true statement. So here would be our check. All right, so we know 2 divided by 3 equals x plus 7 over 3x. We just found a moment ago that x was equal to 7, so let me throw that in every place I had an x. So we're going to get 14 over 21. So if 2/3 is equal to 14 over 21, our check works out. X was the solution. Well, we could check this in a couple of ways, right? 2 times 21 is 42. 3 times 14 is also 42. So we know those proportions are equal, just like in question 6. Or you could reduce 14 over 21 by getting rid of a factor of 7, right? Dividing each of these by 7. That would also work to show that these two fractions are equivalent to one another. There's a little bit of, like I mentioned initially, there's a sneaky way to do this question. Not saying here's a way that you should do this, but if you really enjoy math, looking at things a little bit of a different way, can help us. So when we were talking about proportions, I said that sometimes we could just multiply one fraction by something to get an equivalent value. So notice that if I want to go from 3 to 3x, I have to multiply by x. Well, if these fractions are equivalent, I also have to multiply 2 by x to get to x plus 7. So 2 times x would be 2x. If we set that equal to x plus 7, so now I can solve for x. And I get the same 7 that we found before. Not that that's a much easier process, but if you recognize that number 1 gives you a couple of different ways to solve, the more kind of tools you have, the easier other questions will be. And also it kind of prevents this issue of maybe misdistributing over here and getting an incorrect answer.